In my previous video, I advocated for the advantages on focusing upon what is more important to win. I used the example of the capture zone in Steps Encounter, but as I said, the philosophy applies to all World of Tanks maps and battles, just to differing extents. The most common response to an advocation to focus on one side, as would be the logical result from the above example, is, if we don't cover the whole map, we will get flanked. To this I respond, will you? After all, a flank is relative to your orientation. Ender Wiggin's point is that an orientation can be relative to any point you choose. You start the battle, your team is generally oriented facing north or south in a line stretching east or west. The east and west edges are thus your flanks. Let us presume a case where your entire team goes east to the capture zone, and I'm staying with Steps Encounter here. If they're not incompetent, they are likely to quickly overwhelm the enemy force there and without too much damage. So now they are sitting on the capture zone. Where are the flanks? Where's the enemy? Which way do you want to face? Reassess your orientation, rotate the map 90 degrees clockwise. The enemy is to your front, the west. That means that your flanks are now north and south. Consider the situation now. You control the capture zone, one of the 2 ways to win as mentioned in the previous video. You are stationary with a selection of defensive lines to choose from. You probably outnumber the enemy, who must attack you from your front to prevent a loss by capture, moving in the open with an accompanying lack of protection and firing accuracy. Every factor is now in your favor. If your side loses at this point, you deserve it. How does this apply to a standard battle where there are 2 capture points, 1 on each team? Actually, it applies just as well. If you bear one requirement in mind, you must control your own capture point. If you do not, you will eventually lose when somebody on the enemy team decides to chance it, drives onto the capture point, and then realizes to his gleeful shock that nobody on your team bothered to keep an eye on it. For the definition of control, again look at ADRP 1-02. A tactical mission task that requires a commander to maintain physical influence over a specified area to prevent its use by an enemy, or to create conditions necessary for successful friendly operations. Note what it does not say. It does not say that you must sit on the area, you just have to be able to influence it. You have systems which can do that from a distance. Guns, including artillery. If it helps your visualization to change your front so that both capture points are to your front, well, go for it. Just be sure that you can still control your own capture point when you do it. Artillery drivers in particular seem immune to this form of paradigm shift. Too many times have I seen it where they leave themselves hanging at what they still think is the back, when really it would behoove them to consider that they are now in front of what should be considered the front line, and ought to move. To summarize, don't get fixated on which way is up on your map. Focus on what you need to win. Choose the path which gives you more chances to win. And don't succumb to institutional inertia and go to places on the map just because people always go to those places on the map. Have a better reason for doing so. I'm Moran, the Chieftain, and I'll talk to you again soon.